After 45 years, the Kings can wear their crown. Score!
The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League.
Stanley Cup Moments, presented by McDonald's.
I think the greatest thing about the Stanley Cup is walking into a room, whether it be in the Hall of Fame in Toronto or anybody's living room or somebody's house, and you walk in and see there is the Stanley Cup. And everybody knows what that is.
The countdown is on. 3, 2, 1. It's over!
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
I remember thinking, how cool is this? They're bringing out the Stanley Cup here in our building, and we have won the Stanley Cup.
You know, finally came on the ice, and it was right there, and it finally sank in, you know, what we've dreamed to do our whole lives was right in front of us.
That walk, which was pretty long, seems like it was forever for me, because I wanted it to be at center ice so much.
Well, when the cup came out, that's what you dream of. And I'm just waiting for him to call me up. And as a player, there's no words I can tell you that will describe that feeling for myself or for a lot of guys.
Probably the shiniest trophy you'll ever see. You know, you almost feel like crying just looking at that thing coming out here. That's probably the slowest walk, because you know you're going to get your hands on it at some point. But you know, then Gary's got to speak, and you're just like, okay, enough's enough. Just give it to Brownie and let's pass that thing around.
It's my honor to present the Stanley Cup to Captain Dustin Brown.
The special moment is when the commissioner says, Captain Dustin Brown, here is the Stanley Cup. And when Brown goes over and grabs the cup and puts it over his head, I think for me, that's the moment.
Now Dustin Brown hoisting the cup.
First thing I did is I looked at the cup, but then after that, I have to admit, I looked up and I looked at everyone in the stands, because it was very loud, yet no one was clapping because everyone had their phones out. I mean, literally, I think there was 18,000 phones on that Stanley Cup, but then yet it was super loud. So that means everyone was screaming at the same time. It was a pretty wild feeling.
I saw tears, people were hugging each other. They were still jumping up and down. They were walking around like, did this really happen? And I think for all of us, that was what we were all feeling. I think the fact that I was still on the air and still had to work at it prevented me from really showing my true emotions. But when the players passed that cup to each other, Brown to Willie Mitchell and right on down the line, and seeing how every player reacts once they get to touch that cup, that's always been the special part of the whole cup ceremony for me.
Richie, come here!
Well, I feel privileged and honored that Brownie gave it to me second. You think about all the things that happen in your career and all the work you put in to get at this point, and that's what you strive for.
I just remember going up to Kartsy and just telling him, make sure you grab it after me. You know, we've been through a lot together, so that was definitely a nice touch at the end of the season.
You know, that's every little boy's dream when they're growing up, is to one day win the Stanley Cup and to get to skate around the rink with it above your head. And you know, when you accomplish that and you get the chance to do it, it's a pretty special feeling.
Me and Greeny have been through a lot together. We came here in a trade together almost exactly 4 years ago. You know, for him to hand me that cup was very, very special.
Quickie came up to me, he's like, hey, Dewey, let's rock, paper, scissors for who gets the cup next. And I was like, no, you can take it, buddy. I'll get it from you after.
Friends and family told me that I should have taken a longer lap. I just wanted to do it, and I just didn't want to drop it.
No, it's kind of cool to get it from Quickie. The thing was heavy, that's for sure. I didn't expect that. I wanted to, you know, power lift it over my head and then almost kind of tip backwards.
I'd been fortunate enough to do it before, so I got to enjoy it a lot more, because you start watching everybody else the second time around more so than the first time.
You always think that nothing can compare to the first time, and then you know, you're able to do it again, especially with a different set of guys. And it was a lot of fun for me to see a lot of guys win it for the first time, because I remember what that felt like for me.
From when I was a young kid, I remember being in the same room as the Hockey Hall of Fame and just seeing it, just, you know, you get filled with excitement.
As a piece of management, just a little piece of this organization, to have the opportunity to walk on the ice and that cup, I can't explain what that thing, I can't, to right now, I mean, I get chills when I see that thing. It's like, wow.
To live at Staples Center, at Center Ice, to be part of the organization that I love so much, and I just know what it means for Los Angeles. I know what it means for our fans, and I know what it means for this organization.
I mean, I was drafted by the Kings. I grew up in this organization. To be part of a group of guys that brought a Stanley Cup to LA is special. I was the first LA King to touch the Stanley Cup. I mean, it's not only a privilege and an honor, but it's much more than that for this organization.
Kind of just trying to describe what it is, and I use the term magical, just because it felt like there was something special that you were holding.
I think so many things in life we say, boy, if I only had that. And unfortunately, 90% of the time, it doesn't hit the spot and you're disappointed. We all say, boy, it'd be great to win a Stanley Cup. It's better than I ever dreamed. You just can't describe it. That's the only way I can put it.
Even then, I didn't get real teary-eyed. Just happy for family members who were there, who've been around for so many years, and thought, will we ever, ever see this day? And there it was.